All right, friends, let me make this short and sweet. I just wanted to do a little follow-up podcast off of the little podcast that I did recently. I think it was like 2 podcasts ago. Go back and listen to that if you haven't already listened to it to know the whole dealio. But wanted to give a little follow-up in regard to my one horse and having the vet come out and evaluate her for lameness and all that stuff. Vet came out. I was not making anything up in my head. She agreed something looked off, something looked wrong. Ended up doing all the nerve blocks that they do to kind of assess what's going on, where things are coming from, and did x-rays, the whole gamut of the workup. And turns out her palmar angle on her left front, which we've had issues with in the past, is back looking not so perfect. And she also has some other changes on her x-rays and things like that. But the vet seemed pretty optimistic that we caught the whole thing pretty early and that we can hopefully get it corrected before it blossoms into like a full-blown problem. And I messaged my farrier right away and I said, hey, can you get out? When's the soonest you can get out to address some of this stuff? For people who don't have horses, farrier they're the people that like trim their hoofs, take care of their feet, all of that stuff. So when you have issues with the way their hoofs are shaped, when you have issues with things like she's having issues with the feet, essentially, they're your go-to person. And my farrier is amazing. But I messaged him. I said, when's the quickest you can come out? And he literally came out today. So all my, it was so quick. Everything was so quick. Like I called them the next day. The vet was out. The day after that, the farrier was out. And hopefully, we don't know where the end of the story is going to come to. I'm not saying we're at the end of this story, but I'm just hopeful that we caught everything in time. We got it addressed right away, and we're going to start seeing some improvement, not going the other direction into something bad. And again, if you didn't listen to the podcast a couple of episodes ago, go back and listen to that so you know what I'm talking about and you know what I'm following up on. But I just wanted to give a little update on that, short and sweet, because what I was saying in that podcast is exactly true in this situation. If you have something stressful, if you have something that is frustrating, if you have a problem in your life that is giving you anxiety, if you have an issue that's giving you anxiety, stress, worry, fear, frustration, disappointment, all those negative emotions, we have a tendency, if we allow our primal part of our brain that's in charge of sympathetic nervous system, in charge of fight or flight response, if we allow that part of our brain to do what it wants to do naturally, you're always going to want to just turn away from that thing that is giving you those negative emotions. Like, it's our human nature to want to run away from those things, get away from those things, deny those things, don't address those things, punt it down the road, procrastinate, say, oh, I'll deal with that another day. It's just our human nature. And usually when it comes to not a physical threat situation. We're talking about just a unfortunate situation that happens in life that is it's just problematic. Like, we don't know how to deal with it. It brings us upsetting feelings. It brings us anxiety, nervousness, stress, worry, all those things. Usually those situations are going to be worse if you turn your head or bury your head in the sand and turn away from that thing and try to get out of addressing it, try to get out of dealing with it, try to ignore it, try to kick the can down the road and hope that it goes away. These situations typically end up with better outcomes if you turn towards the thing that is causing you the bad emotions. If you turn towards it and say, okay, let me activate the part of my brain that does the critical thinking. Let me logic through this. Let me think about this. Let me critically think. Let me think about this complex situation and let me deal with it in the best way possible, so I'm better off than I would be if I just stuck my head in the sand or ignored it or didn't deal with it or pretended it didn't exist. And like I said, I don't know the outcome of what's going to happen with my horse. This is a journey. We're all on the journey together kind of thing. But based on the feedback from my vet, based on the feedback from my farrier, all the stuff, the fact that we jumped right on it, the fact that I called right away, the fact that we didn't dilly-dally, the fact that we, saw something a little problematic and hit it right away, right off the bat, it's gonna be better than what it would have been if I would have just ignored it or kicked the can down the road. So, like I said, just wanted a little follow up on that. And also, this is off topic, but also foster good relationships with people in your life that do services for you, that bring you value, that help you. Like, what I mean when I say that is, like, my vet, I called their office at 7 p.m. on a Tuesday, and they were at the barn at 11 a.m. on a Wednesday, like the next morning. And this wasn't an emergency call. This was a routine, I need someone to come out and do a lameness eval, and they were there the next morning. And this is not it's not like that happened because they aren't busy. These people are booked up months in advance for visits and routine visits. Like, they are very busy. But I feel like I have a really good relationship with my vet, and I feel like they care, and I feel like they saw it was my horse, and I feel like they made it a priority to make sure that my horse got taken care of. And same thing with my farrier. He's in high demand. His schedule is always booked like 4 months out. And I messaged him, and within 24 hours, he's there, and he's, looking at my horse and trying to help. And I believe, not that I'm saying they put me before other clients. That's not what I'm saying at all. I think they take good care of all of their clients. But what I'm saying is, this is why you have a relationship with people who do services for you, with people who, you want to be a client to someone, and you want to have that relationship with them. So when you need something, they're willing to come out and help. Like, they're willing to do it quickly. They're invested. That's probably the best way to say it. They're invested in helping you and being there for you. And my diesel mechanic on my truck, same thing. I have his personal cell phone number, and obviously, of course, I do not abuse that. It's not like I'm texting him, all the time about my truck. Like, obviously, I don't abuse it. But, like, that's the relationship I have with my diesel mechanic. It's like, yeah, if I need something, like, these people are there to help me. And that's something I didn't really learn that's something I didn't learn about life until I got the horses, and I realized how much you really need your village. Like, you need your village around you. And I'm sure those of you out there that have children, I'm sure you can relate. Like, they always say, it takes a village to raise children. And, I know horses are not children. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying, when it comes to the horses, I feel the same way. Like, you depend on a lot of people to take care of these animals. Like, I have a hay person, I have a vet, I have a farrier. I have somebody that handles my truck, somebody that handles my trailers. You need a village of people. And I never really appreciated that until I had the horses. And now I very much appreciate, like you need that extended family, and you need to foster those relationships, and you need to develop those relationships. You need to find people that you trust, and then you need to foster that relationship with those people. So when you need something, they're willing to help you, and you have a go-to person to help you. Along these same lines, I was hauling across the country a couple years ago when my one horse colicked, and I was like in the middle of nowhere. I knew nothing around me. I had no idea what resources to go to. Like, my cell phone didn't have great service, and I was completely freaking out. And I called my vet from home, and like, obviously they're multiple states away. They can't help me, can't physically help me, but I didn't know what else to do. And in that moment, I felt comfortable calling them and asking them for guidance. And again, going back to what I'm saying, they were amazing. Like, they picked up the phone in the middle of the night, 2 a.m., and they helped me. Like, they Googled nearby hospitals. They gave me advice. They told me what to do. And like, they didn't get paid for any of that. It was just because I had that relationship with them, that client and vet relationship. And that's so important. So again, just a little side bit, just a little food for thought. This is very important to have those people in your camp, those people that you can trust, and foster those relationships. So when you need them, you have them, and you can trust that you can go to them. All right, I said this would be short and sweet, so I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Just wanted to do a little follow-up. Like I said, this journey is not over. We will see what happens with the horse, but as it stands right now, I'm happy I acted on my gut instinct. I'm happy that I took the plunge and just got the professionals out there, got them to look at her, and hopefully, that's going to save us a lot of heartache now in the future. We'll get this thing corrected. We'll be back up and running, and hopefully all is going to be good. So obviously, keep you guys posted. Thanks for tuning in. Again, please come back and also share this with anyone that you think might like this podcast. That would be really appreciated. All right, talk again soon. Bye.